dealing with it on a daily basis is a rough chore, and sometimes you've got to be able to say, look, I have to live with this, so there's no reason to put a lot of energy into it. It's just going to happen anyway. We were born with creativity, we're going to die with creativity, but it's still the addiction. You still have to scratch the itch. Unplug, because we will always say yes to creativity. Totally Uncut, because we all make mistakes. So turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. The mind is tilted this new sun. Well, it's gotten used to having these days off as solid rest. And like a wild child, it wants time and it wants space. And I'm not the only one that's going through this, but your own personal life, when your body is aching to have time off, it just screams at you in ways that other people can't hear it, but you sure can. I mean, outside of the self, you've got to live up to the expectations, and you've got to meet them with a greater value than what you did yesterday. I mean, I truly don't ever think of those days when I had to go to work at 6 a.m. because that was king, and I had to do it 5 days a week with a full weekend of more expectations. The evolution of life redesigns the magnitude of depth. I want to say that again. The evolution of life redesigns the magnitude of depth. The visions have changed in each and every one of our lives, but not the dedication, the determination, and more importantly, the delusion. Because we all have delusion when it comes to who it is that we think we were going to become. But isn't that what shapes the present place of now? I mean, Gene Simmons is the one that said, if you don't believe in your process, and if you don't think that it's great, nobody else is going to believe in it either. Living that lifestyle is a huge overload of self-salesmanship. You've got to be on your own game. Know the demand while supplying the product. Learning to believe in yourself without poisoning your heart and head. The risk is only image. How you are accepted is also the same way you can easily be terminated. Hey, it's Arroe. This is The Daily Mess, a chronological walk through an everyday world. I am a daily writer. I'm also a stream thinker. I allow things to happen in the presence of now because we can learn from what is felt right now. It's dropping the censors and allowing yourself to speak freely, to write in a free-form way. It's a good exercise, and it's also a teaching tool. This is The Daily Mess. Keeping the soul unmasked. Have you thought about that? Keeping the soul unmasked. That means don't pretend to be somebody you're not. Just don't. That's like seeing Johnny Depp on during the trial on TV. I sit there and I watch him. I'm going, is he wearing a mask? Is he trying to be somebody? I mean, he is one of the greatest actors, but am I seeing the real Johnny Depp, or does he have a mask on? It's a challenge. It's a chore. It's so much easier to be someone or something else, but it's close enough to convince the passerby. I call that the echo effect, and it paints the face of solitude. But the question is, you can be in solitude, but are you in gratitude? Being in a place of peace doesn't require the heart to be mindful, but you got to combine the two, because in that moment of now, yeah, there's bliss. To make it last longer than a moment is always going to be the battle. Content changes by the minute. It's a place of acceptance, and it can easily be turned inside out. Where you once stood is now gone for good. So the question is, what did you learn? How far did you travel? Where are the mile markers on a day of fog and stuffiness? Those are questions that move through you. You may not visibly and physically say it out loud, but you're always asking that question. What did I learn? Did I get anywhere here? What can I do, or what can I recognize that's going to tell me, yeah, I did it? Moving through the distance must be recognized beyond a clear vision. In all directions, you must recognize. If a mask is being worn, peripherally, your vision suffers. Know the entire picture, not only what lays before you, but know what sits behind you. And I don't know about you, but I wasn't given eyes in the back of my head. Therefore, I've got to rely on trust, faith, and wholeness to realize that I can turn around and look, but that's going to require some energy that you may need as you move forward. You've got to be able to stand there and know where you are, keeping the soul unmasked, keeping yourself present in this place of now. Be grateful, Be mindful. Just know where you are. See, as a martial artist, we aren't trained to go out and kick butt. That's not our thing. We may go to tournaments to try to win trophies, but in the real world, we aren't trained to go start a fight. We aren't trained to go into a fight and do something. We are trained to walk around what feels uneasy. And sometimes you have to do that in your everyday world and life. Instead of saying, okay, I'm going to go through this mountain. No, maybe today I need to walk around the mountain. Because if I go through that mountain, there's a big opportunity there that you could get injured. And as my very first instructor told me, my sensei, he said, do not cause blood. Do not. And I looked at him kind of strange that day, and I said, Sensei, I don't understand. Do not cause blood. And he looked me deep in the eye and he said, AIDS. And then it hit me. Oh, that's right. Because the AIDS epidemic is not over. If I cause blood, I could get AIDS. Same thing in the situations of your everyday world. If you cause, there could be an effect that will infect you for the rest of your life. I'm Arroe, and that's a Daily Mess.